Hey everybody, how you all doing on today? Happy New Year's Eve to everybody, 2023. Oh, come on into the kitchen. Come on into the kitchen because I'm going to be making apple pie cookies. Now, this is something I wanted to actually do on Christmas. I just didn't have the time to get it all in there. But right now, I'm just hanging out in the kitchen right now, guys. And I said I'll put these together for a treat for tomorrow, for New Year's. I don't do a whole bunch on New Year's. I'll cook dinner, and just let it be that. Unless there's, a whole, big gathering here or something like that, then I'll just go all out and make dinner. I haven't done that in years, guys, especially since the pandemic. Okay, so I know we are over and we're done with the pandemic, but there's still remnants and we still got to be careful. And, right now, it is winter or approaching winter. Are we in winter? Yeah. You know what, guys? You know what? Isn't it funny? I just realized that we're in winter. We're in winter. When did you know what, guys? This is something else. This is something else right now because the weather has been so nice over here that I didn't even realize that we transitioned into winter. I haven't heard nothing on the news. Usually on the news when they do, well, then again, I've been running around so much, I haven't really been seeing too much of the news. But guys, this is something right here. When I get off this camera, I'm just going to go and just sit down and have a moment with myself because I'm just like, you know what? We got to stop missing moments, out of busyness. Out of busyness, here a whole other season done came in and I was completely livy of it. You know what? All right, let me move on to these cookies. This is amazing, or rather, something else. Just realizing that you're in a whole nother season right now. That's a sermon right there, and I wanna simmer on this a little while after I finish doing this whole thing with the apple pie cookies. But anyway, it is New Year's Eve, and I'm just gonna show you guys real fast what I'm gonna be using. That's my daughter back there in the background. For those who are not familiar, you can hear my daughter in the background. But what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be using a pre-made pie crust. I use these. I don't like making pie crust. Oh, you know what? I do like making pie crust, but I just don't like the process of it all. It's just too much, and it's a simple process to make pie crust. But I'm going to be using a pre-made pie crust. I picked these up here. I never saw the mini pie crusts before. And what I was going to use these for originally was to make some mini pecan pie pies for Christmas. I never got around to it, guys. Been too busy. Too busy with the gift basket stuff. But a lot of that is going to be changing next year. Okay, so I want to see what this is all about. I'm going to unroll this and see how all of this is laid out because I may have to roll it back out again if it has too many. I'm not sure with the lining or how if it's circles. It looks like it's what I see. I tried to open up one earlier, and it looks like I'm not sure if they're circles. I don't know how it is, but I'm ready to find out how it is actually. Um, and you can see here, there are like little lines. I guess this will make our circles. If you can see that there, I'm going to unroll this to see what this is about. Long story short, I'm using the mini pie crusts. I do use Pillsbury, but I usually just use their regular pie dough crust. Make a long story short, all right. And I am using a canned. Now, either I make my apple pie filling, or if you're in a rush, I'm not exactly in a rush. Just don't feel like doing it, guys. I'm using a canned apple pie filling, which I believe the brand is Lucky. This is the first time I ever used it before. I usually like Ginger Evans, from out of when they out of Save a Lot. We don't have a lot of those around anymore, so I got this at the supermarket a couple of weeks ago. I tried it. It tastes pretty good. What I did was I just added some other seasonings. I added spices. I used my cinnamon, my ground nutmeg, and my allspice, and I just threw some in there, and it tastes pretty good. And also, we're going to be using some caramel sauce, okay, which I just got out the refrigerator because it needs to be stiff for this recipe. And I'm going to be using an egg wash just to hold everything and to make the crust golden. And I'm going to get everything set up and I'm going to come right back to you guys. You know what? I can't believe we are in winter. Can you believe it? Okay, guys, let me put this down just a little bit further. What I discovered with these pie crusts is that this might be an actual help for me right here. Because look at this. This is for, look at that. If y'all can see it. See the markings on there? I think I might use this. This will save me. I mean, it's not like a whole lot of. What I usually do is that I have a bigger biscuit cutter than this. It have the three sizes, and then this one actually bigger than these, and that's the one I was trying to find because that's the one I use. This one is actually a little bit too small, but then I thought it would be fun to use these. These are for cookies when I make cookies. These are different. I have different types of cookie cutters, and I thought this would be cute to use as you know, um, to do my pies with or my cookies. So I'm going to figure out for a second what I'm going to do here, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to get the ball running or rolling with everything else. So let me figure out what I'm going to do here, piece it all together, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, what I decided to do was to go with, look at me. I decided to go with this cookie cutter here. All right. And these are what they are looking like here. All right. So I'm cutting these out. And from this point on, I'm just going to roll out a few more. I have two pie crusts. I have two. The other one I'm going to use to make my latest with. And I'm just using this extra dough that I have left over from these and make a couple more of the bottom um, layers for the cookies. And I will be back after I roll this out and get a couple more of these out of here, okay? And here comes my daughter. Let me see what she's up to. Hold on. Okay, really quickly, I just cut that out, and I'm going to use a little bit more flour just to roll this out. Okay, guys, I'm not going to bore you with this any longer. I just wanted y'all to see what I was doing with the remainder of the pie crust. Rolling it out. And let me see if I can get a couple more out of these. Okay. Just going to take and press these. Okay, so this should be enough here for the cookies that I'm going to. Let me see, that's one, that's two, three, four. Let's see if I can get two more. Oh, no. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let me see. Okay. Those are 12. And let me see. Okay, so I'm going to leave this be for right now. I'm not going to make any more. And I'm going to come right back. Let me clean this up, and I'm going to start adding my my egg wash to the edges of um, those that I just cut out. And then I'm going to fill it with the apple pie, and then I'm going to do the lettuce. And I'll be back. Okay, so now I have them laid out on this is the bottom layer of the cookie. And I have these laid out on some parchment paper on a cookie sheet. And I'm going to roll out my dough where I can cut for the lettuce to go on top. And I'll be back when I'm ready to put the fillings inside of the cookie and then do the lettuce on top. Okay? Okay, guys, what I'm now doing, I have a pizza, not a very good one. I think I got this from the dollar store. I use this when I make pizzas and when I do my lattice, whatever way you want to call it. But I'm making the strips so I can uh, do the top of my cookies. And I'm pretty much, some people, some people like to use a ruler. I just kind of eyeball it and just go straight down. Don't have to be perfect or, you know. But I just want to show you guys what I am now doing. I am just cutting these strips out so I can lay them across the top of my, that one's a little too wide. Lay them across the cookies and I'll be back once again. Okay guys, what I'm now doing is that I'm putting my egg wash around the edges to help the top layer, the latest stick together. I just thought I'd show you what I'm doing at the moment. Just going around the edges with my egg wash, which is one large egg with 2 teaspoons of water beat together. And after this here, I'm going to be adding my caramel. And yeah, you hear my daughter? It's like, yeah. I'm going to be adding my caramel and my apple pie filling, and then we'll do the latest, and we should be ready to pop them in the stove. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys what I was doing here with this. Okay, guys, I'm back on, and I'm adding the caramel. And what you have to do, like the smaller the cookie, the smaller amount of caramel you're going to put on because it could run out if you put too much in there. Okay, so I'm trying to just use a little bit, maybe like a quarter of a teaspoon. But these are the smallest I've ever made these. All right, so I'm trying to be very careful with how much caramel because once it starts heating up, again, you can get a spillage if you have too much in there out on the sides. All right, this one has a little bit too much, so we'll see. And now I'm going to put it's good to make like your own caramel um, so it can get a little bit, not too thick because the longer you cook caramel, the harder it will get. And so you have to be careful even making your own caramel because I like to just when I buy this, I'll put it in the refrigerator so it can thicken up. Because this is the caramel flavor topping, but I like to buy something that's a little bit thicker and something that has a little bit more stability to it. And sometimes that's not easy to find. So now I'm going to take my apples on top. I'll do a few, and then I'll put you guys on hold again, so you won't have to be bored with the process here. Okay. Now, what I did with these apples was that I cut them up because they were whole slices in the can, so I had to dice them up. Okay, so you just want to put You have to kind of judge with your eye. And make sure it's not over full, overstuffed. So I'll show you if you can't see from there. This is what I've done so far. And I'll be back. Okay guys, I want to show you the one that I did right there. If you can see it. All right. My cabinet is in the way. Okay, so I think what I want to do, because this is very tedious, is very, very, very tedious, guys. And I'm going to show you why. Let me do one here, because I want to have to do all the rest of them off camera. Now, let me see. If you guys, I want to do one here. Now, for a lattice, all you're going to do is lace some strips across. See, I think I made these two. I can double this. Let me see. You're going to lay that there. If you guys can see. Where am I at? What element one? Okay. You're going to lay that there. I'm going to cut this in half. Lay that there. And I think I'm going to put one more there. And then what you're going to do, if you can see this, you're going to take one back. Every other one, you're going to take back. And then you're going to take another. Let me see if I can use this one here. Okay. And you're going to take that one back. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Take that one back. Oh, okay, wait a minute. I didn't have that right the first time. I'll lay you under there. Okay. Don't worry about it being. This is what I did so far. It's kind of crazy. But when I get done, it's going to make sense. Okay, so I'm going to try and do. How many I do over here? Just one? Okay, I did one. And on the other side, I'm going to do. Let me see. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take this one back. And this one back. And I'm going to lay this across. Put this here. Put this here. And what I want to do is take my pie cutter, my cookie cutter again, and try to get it exactly back onto the shape of the cookie. And then just cut down. And you're going to remove the edges. And you're going to lip it off. Gently lip it off. Okay. In the end, we're going to press our edges together. So here's another one. If you can see it. I can't go too high because of my cabinet over here. All right, guys. So this is what I want to do. finish this up and I'll be back on, okay? Okay, guys, I've been at this for a while. Ooh, this thing tedious. Ooh, it's so tedious. It's so tedious. Now I'm cutting out the last few cookies here. I'm trying to get them lined up exactly with the cookie cutter. All right. Let's see here, guys. Ooh wee! I tell you, some things I don't do all the time, and it's this right here. I love them. Wait a minute. All right. I wasn't going through this off camera. Right. Right here. I'm just taking the edges off. I got my stove set at 350, and I'm going to do an egg wash over top of these and just press the edges down a little bit more to make sure that they don't leak out. And some people, or you can, if you choose to, like a regular apple pie, you can put some standing sugar on top, or just some regular sugar if you want, just sprinkle over top. That can be done as well. There. And so this is the process, guys. I just wanted to bring you back onto the camera. I'm almost done. And I think I'm going to just do one off camera so you can see how I made the latest. I wasn't sure if you guys could see it at that view when I was doing it earlier. But I'm going to finish up this here, and I'll just be back on before I pop them into the stove, okay? Okay, guys, they're about to go into the stove. I just put the egg wash over top, and I'm praying these things don't leak out with the caramel sauce on here. So we'll see how it goes, all right? So I'm going to put them in the stove probably about, you just got to keep your eye on. You just want the pie crust to certainly be brown and golden. So I'm going to just give these about 15, 20 minutes and see how it goes, okay? Because I usually make bigger ones. So these are a little bit smaller than I usually make. And so I just have to keep an eye out on them, but I'll let you know how long I actually left them in when they're done, okay? Okay, guys, I just pulled them out the stove, waiting for them to get brown. I know they look a little splishy splashy, but I'm going to put them on the plate and come back with the final plating of these. All right, so just waiting for them to get brown. It's about 25 minutes, between 20 and 25 minutes just for them to get brown around the top, okay? So I will be back again once they cool off a little bit, and I'm going to put them on the plate. On the cooling rack. Very nice. They're nice and brown on the bottom. Turned out very nice. Okay, guys, here we go. We got 12 on this plate. Okay, these are the apple pie cookies. All right, guys, be blessed until the next video.